Well, hello, sales managers, directors of sales, executive vice presidents of sales and marketing, chief marketing officers, and chief revenue officers. This is Bill Shaka, looking forward to working with you today in another edition of Crush Your Company's Quota. All right, I got some crunchy granola for you today. I want you to think about this. I call today's edition Sales Culture, Sales Leadership, and Symbiotic Expansion. That's kind of theoretical, but it's really not. I'm going to try to make this fun and sexy. But basically, here's what I'm saying. The culture of the organization, while it's important and while the sales department has to operate within that culture, the real important part of the culture is the subculture of the sales department. You know, it could be very different. You know, look at it this way. When we talk about culture and subculture, think about this. Let's assume that our economy is rocking and rolling. Inflation's down to 1.5%. Unemployment is basically non-existent. Gas prices are cheap. Everything's going along really, really well. The economy's booming. If you remember the 80s, there were those rock and roll Reagan years, when things were really, really going insane. I mean, I lived through them. I know. I mean, I bought a brand new high-end Volvo. I was making tremendous sums of money. It was a really cool time to be alive. Well, let's assume we were back to that. That's the culture of the economy. But what if you lived in a house that was dysfunctional? Maybe you were a child and your parents were constantly fighting, or you were abused, or you're in a relationship that is just uninspiring, etc. Even though the economy may be doing exceptionally well, the subculture that you're living in kind of crushes you on a daily basis. Okay? So that's the kind of analogy that I'd like to project forward with the corporate culture and the culture of the sales department. Your company may be doing exceptionally well culturally, movement toward vision. But if the sales culture is one of getting hit over the head, and I've seen this, I've seen this in the past. I've actually heard a sales manager say that they manage using two sticks. When things go bad, they hit the salesperson with the big stick. When things go good, they just hit them with the small stick. And you know, that rubbed me so incorrectly. I mean, I certainly don't want to say that it offended me. I hate that term. I guess the term offense offends me. But that thought of creating a culture of fear and dislike, it doesn't bode well for long-term success. So here's what I'd like to say to you. There is a symbiotic relationship between the leader and the culture. Now, obviously, the CEO creates or has a very large say in the corporate culture. But the head of the sales department has a lot to say in terms of the culture in the sales department. And, you know, really that is your operating system, is the culture in the sales department. Basically, what occurs is the behavior of your salespeople will operate at a much higher degree based on the culture of the sales department. That's what I'd like you to consider. Because here's the important point. You as the leader of the sales department and the culture of the sales department, if I can bridge that with symbiosis, in other words, they're both intimately connected, when the leader gets better, the culture gets better. And, just as important, as the culture gets better, the leader gets better. So the end result of this symbiotic relationship between the leader and the culture in the sales department is very important. Look, it's important in any department, but the fact of the matter is that in, for example, the accounting department, if the culture and the leader are fractured, and the overall level of enthusiasm in accounting isn't what it should be, the books are still going to get done at the end of the month. Maybe there's going to be some additional churn. Maybe the accountants aren't going to be happy. Maybe they're going to be complaining, but the work is still going to get done. The problem in sales is that you're going to misplan. So you got to get the culture right, because you're going to have a couple of salespeople that are just, man, this place sucks. And the end result of that is they're not going to hit plan. And if you do have churn in sales, that's a sure sign that you're not going to hit plan. So creating a culture that makes sense through better leadership is integral to what the sales department should be doing and what the sales leader should be doing. Now, here's the thing. I can't tell you how to create the culture in your sales department. I don't know your company. I don't know you. I mean, if you're working in a company that your salespeople are primarily sales engineers, the sales cycle might be 20 months long, and the salespeople may be engineers and very contemplative. The end result is a much more quieter, less active culture. If you're in the kind of culture like payroll processing, the kind of culture I cut my teeth in sales in, every week you had to get out there and you had to perform. Every week you had to come in with 2 or 3 sales, new deals, people that wanted to do payroll processing. Much different. So I can't tell you what kind of culture you need to develop, but what I can tell you is this. There is a symbiotic relationship between you, the sales leader, and the sales culture. The more that you can develop your leadership skills, the greater the effectiveness of the culture will be. And what that means is less churn of your salespeople, more movement toward plan. And that's exactly what we want to crush our company's quota. Bill Shaka thanking you for attending another edition of Crush Your Company's Quota. Don't forget, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like, share, comment. Talk soon. Bye.